So obviously Matthew Goodwin announced as the reform candidate for Gorton and Denton. How do you feel about that?
I mean, this is an extremist. Reform are showing exactly who they are, and in some ways it's helpful that they're not even trying to hide the fact that they are... Well, this is a man who has pushed great replacement theory. This is a man that has said some very questionable things. And being a Mancunian, I'm absolutely convinced that this constituency will show racist policies for door. Now, that's not complacent. We've got to fight for every single vote. We've got to make that case. You can never assume anything. But this really is a battle for the soul of the nation. And it's happening right here in Gorton and Denton. And we intend to throw everything we need to at this election to make sure that we get the right outcome.
Commonwealth recently did a report talking about the level of privatisation in our society, roughly £200 billion worth of value transferred from, people, members of the public like yourself, to shareholders and corporations. And at the same time, you've also got a situation where people feel a bit concerned about Labour potentially using private finance initiatives, making contracts with companies like Palantir. What do you think is the solution to that?
I mean, the solution, first of all, with Palantir is not to use a company that's a US tech company, military surveillance, specialising in artificial intelligence, and give that one of the biggest, in fact, the biggest contract we've ever given for defence, as well as looking to renew it within our National Health Service. I mean, it's incoherent that a US organisation that is complicit in the genocide in Gaza is anywhere near our National Health Service. And I think the truth is just most people don't know that, because anyone who hears that will immediately have questions. Wes Streeting, the Health Secretary, has taken over £250,000 in private healthcare donations, so it's not a surprise that our National Health Service is at risk. Ultimately, we know all of these things are about people's bills. People feel like they're running just to keep up with the economy. And ultimately, the way to stop this is to lower bills by removing shareholder profits, and the way to do that is through nationalising our public services.
Speaking of genocide, obviously it's been Holocaust Memorial Day. Many Jews worry about rising anti-Semitism, Muslims facing Islamophobia and anti-Muslim hatred, and what to many people feels like an increasing level of dehumanization supercharged by algorithms. We saw Elon Musk's X being used to generate nudified deepfakes of women and children too. What do you think is the antidote to rising tides of dehumanization?
Well, community, I think. People seeing each other and being together in spaces, but that's not enough. We've got to both challenge reform and Tommy Robinson and the far right, but we've also got to offer something propositional, something that's an alternative. That's why I talk about making hope normal again. That's not just some abstract phrase, that's about genuinely investing in our communities. People say that there's no integration, but how do you expect people to integrate? You close the community centres, you close the libraries, you don't have spaces for people to come together. So really what we need to do is challenge and stop and reverse austerity, invest in communities and make sure we bring people together.